This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. It's Gil Alexander. That right there is Kelly Bidlin, everybody.
Hey.
Behold, Kelly Bidlin. And the weight loss, the hair, it's all looking good.
Well, thanks, man.
Hey,
You know what I'm feeling today?
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling tall. I wouldn't have brought this up except for you just did that little thing. Hey, you remember me complaining about being short last week? Something with these chairs.
The chairs.
Something with these chairs.
Yeah.
New chair or something.
All right, he feels good.
Feeling tall.
We feel good about this show today because it is Thursday. That means Zach and Crack, Zach Cohen, will join us to talk NBA. Let's talk some Killer Sports Challenge with Zach. I see you, Zach Cohen. Closest in the loss column, Zach Cohen. Just one back in the loss column. We'll talk.
I had a winning record at that contest last night. That's like breaking news.
What'd you have at Elton?
2-1.
2-1, baby. He's back. Zach on the NBA and tennis. If he's got some clay court tennis to come, we will get it from Zach coming up here on the show momentarily. And, of course, Crack Unscripted, Bill Krackenberger in the final hour of the show. I was hanging out with Crack a couple times this week, so he's got much to say. We'll talk about that whole horse racing thing, which Danny Higgins, our producer, is very into as well, with the computer-assisted wagering and how that feels like it's been going on, but it feels like a seismic shift all of a sudden because it was on a grand stage here at the Derby.
I can't. It's beyond. It's fascinating as hell.
Yeah.
It's just another thing for people like me and you, right? It's like pari-mutuel wagering drove us insane. Like, this is like that times 10.
Well, it's that because of pari-mutuel wagering, right? That's how it's able to go. We'll get into all that with Crack. Whatever's on his mind, we will do so. We also do this thing during baseball season. This is actually older than the Megapod. Me and Mark Borchard go back quarterlies. Oh, baseball season's more than a decade gone by. A decade and a half now at this point. Every quarter of the Major League Baseball season, we sort of take a look back at best money line, run line teams in Major League Baseball, the worst of those, the best or the most reliable over-under umpires at this point, the most reliable starting pitchers in terms of money if you had backed them, what is sustainable, what is not. And really what we do exclusively here is we talk about first 5 records for teams, and we talk about first inning records for pitchers. So it gets a little more specific and a little more proprietary as the segments go on. So we're going to do that on the show today, and then we'll just repurpose it for podcasts.
Absolutely love it. As far as kind of, annual, or not even annual, but multiple times a year podcast that you do, one of my favorites, but especially this one, because if you're someone like me who's been wrapped up in NBA and other sports, this is a great catch-up time on baseball.
Did you see my face? Did you see what just happened?
Yeah. I don't know why you're making that face.
Well, because tennis. We have 4 tennis plays.
Que pasa, mi amigo?
We're up 6-1, 3-1 on Oleinikova against Towson, and guess what?
Know where this is going.
She took her toys and she walked off the court.
Oh, no!
It just drives you crazy. 6-1, 3-1. So if you had first set grading, that's a winner. If you didn't, it's not. Alexandra Oleinikova, 6-1, 3-1 over Clara Towson as a plus 111 dog. That was the first of the quote-unquote results this morning, which is not a result for many in their grading, but for some it will be. The other 3 that are going on right now, or the one that has started, we are on Katerina Siniakova versus Anna Kalinskaya. She is up a set on Anna Kalinskaya, so that has already started. Now, these 2 at the bottom have not started, and Yelena Ostapenko is about to start here any minute, so just want to get the tennis plays in. Yelena Ostapenko, if we could flash those back up, guys, for a second, because I want to get the prices. These for subscribers, this is what they got last night, plus 111 on the hamburger. Yelena Ostapenko versus Amanda Nisimova, who is not playing a lot of tennis here this year, and so we're banking on Ostapenko's power overwhelming Anisimova's power, Anisimova being a little rusty here at this point. So bet on the hamburger, Ostapenko at plus 111, and then Marie Buskova, minus 105 versus the American Taylor Townsend. A little I didn't mean to do it this way, but a couple fades of Americans still to come this morning. So still to come Ostapenko and Buskova. Those are the plays remaining in tennis. Siniakova already up a set, and we just got
Clara the quitter.
Walk over bad luck with Oleinikova. So there you go.
Townsend's worst surface?
Yes, for sure.
Because she's a
big
server, right?
That's right. Her power is negated to some degree, and so Buskova is a good returner. She'll frustrate Townsend. That's the bet anyway. Ostapenko has won a French Open.
That's right.
Way back when VSiN first started, that was our first slam that existed when VSiN, the 2017 French Open.
Is that long ago?
Oh yeah, that's when she won her French Open. Wow. What did I leave out on today's show? Oh, and one other thing we want to do. First, starting quarterbacks, first day of the NFL season. I love these.
Me too.
Let's go through 6 teams a little later on, what the odds are on who's going to be the starting quarterback, the person to take the first snap, to be specific.
I think I can speak for both of us. We love these now. Do we love these on August 3rd when we've looked at them 17 times? I don't know.
No, probably
not as much.
Probably
but they're a lot of fun now.
All right, NBA last.
And we have quarterback breaking news this morning.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to save it for that because it's not really breaking news. One of the teams we're going to look at is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the category of other quarterback was the big favorite, meaning Aaron Rodgers was not listed. He would fall under other quarterback. Is this really news to anybody? Really? Can we stop with this? This guy he just wants attention. It's all he wants.
It's wild,
man. He just wants to milk it for as long as possible. Talk about Aaron Rodgers. And then when you absolutely has to show up, then he'll show up. And by the way, he needed to show up by the start of OTAs on May 18th. So what are we right now? May 7th. Mm-hmm. So he's milked it to the final 11 days or whatever is between now and May 18th.
Would this not
shocker?
Like I know we're kind of just getting used to it with him, but how do you operate as an organization with this type of stuff?
You don't. You know how you operate? When he's not around and you're behind closed doors, when he's not around, you're just like, oh God, he's showing up. Trust me, he's showing up, but he's just going to do it on his own time.
No, I know.
Let's just all play his game.
It's like that right there. That's tough to hear. And I think you're right. I think you're right. And that's how do you operate a business like that? Jeez. Do whatever you want, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is not going to come back and play under Mike McCarthy, who he knows he can scream at liberally during football games. So that's Aaron Rodgers. That's what Aaron Rodgers is thinking.
Anyways,
by the way, he's
today.
42. Do we think he's good?
Well, here's always the problem with quarterbacks in this league. He's still better than some.
Yeah, he is. And they did win 10 games last year, so there you go. Maybe not because of him, but I'm just saying. All right, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
NBA last night. Killer Sports Challenge alongside of this, because in the Killer Sports Challenge, the Knicks were -7. So we all kind of took them. A bunch of us did, because right after we were off air at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific yesterday, literally a minute later, it's announced Joel Embiid is not going to play for the Sixers. So it was kind of a mandatory contest play. And the Knicks end up winning by 6 in the end in a game that I couldn't believe. We looked like we might push it at one point in terms of the contest play, but it was over 10 and a half when...
Brunson missed a free throw at the end, right?
Not Brunson. It was...
Hart?
McBride missed a free throw. Anyway, Philly led by as many as 7 in the first quarter. That would be the biggest lead of the game pretty much throughout the entirety until the Knicks briefly took a 7-point lead in the closing seconds, 15-8. Sixers would lead 33-31 end of the first quarter. Philly led by as many as 6 multiple times in the second, never could go higher. They led 62-61 at the half. Sixers led by 4 max in the third. New York Knicks by 3 max in the third, 90-89 Philly at the end of 3. And then at 99-96 Sixers with just under 7 minutes to play, 9-0 Knicks run over a nearly 4-minute stretch to make it 105-99 Knicks, which at that time was their biggest lead of the game with under 3 minutes to play. Philly was 0 for 6 from the field over that span. From there, it was Philly turnover, Knicks turnover, Philly turnover. Then under 2 minutes, Knicks missed. Maxey fouled, made 1 of 2, 105-100. Brunson fouled, made both, 107-100. That would have gotten us the contest push. Maxey sprinted to the hoop, 107-102 with a minute left. Hart missed a 3. Then PG missed a 3. He was upset with his teammates. It was a really ridiculous-looking shot.
Terrible.
McBride fouled, made 1 of 2, 108-102. And then Maxey missed a 3, and it looked like Brunson was going to get fouled by Edgecombe. And he was allowed to dribble out the clock. 108-102 final. Knicks win it. They take a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal against the Sixers. We don't know about Joel Embiid moving forward. Maxey 26 in defeat. Brunson 26 in victory. Anunoby added 24. Cat 20, 10, and 7. Knicks 40 of 79. They're coming off their 63% performance from the field in game 1. How about 50.6%? Only 7 of 26 from behind the arc. Didn't matter because of 18 Sixers turnovers. The game featured, and I was trying to sort of reflect this, Game featured 25 lead changes, the most in a playoff game in 11 years, 14 ties. Neither team led by more than 7. And I mentioned Anunoby. He left with a leg injury toward the end of the game. We don't have an official update yet.
Huge.
4 of 5 Sixers starters played 40-plus minutes, including 47 from Maxey. That ain't good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Cat, man, 7-assist game, as I mentioned. 20, 10, and 7, despite playing only 27 minutes. And we don't know about Embiid, as I mentioned. So there you go. Knicks up 2-0. We head back to Philly. Philly will say the series hasn't started. Nobody's lost on their home court yet, so we're right where we should be in terms of serve. Eventually, they got to win at MSG, though.
Yeah, Sixers 1-point home favorites right now, 213.5. You're looking at for Game 3 back in Philly. Yeah, I mean, it's all about injuries, right? It stinks that it feels like we get to this point almost every NBA playoffs. But, okay, I don't know how long it took you. It didn't take me long to wonder, though, after seeing Embiid get ruled out yesterday, is this a little bit of punt Game 2 to make sure he's okay for Game 3 with all these kind of things that have been nagging him?
I mean, they were in this. They were up 3 with less than 7 minutes left.
But the other side of it is we just went through the minutes. They went all out to get this win, but who knows how much maybe that changed when that first half they were playing so well. They thought they could steal one here in New York. 47 minutes from Tyrese Maxey. That OG Anunoby injury, though, could be huge. He has been playing incredible ball this entire playoffs.
Sixers are plus 650 adjusted series price. You want anything? Any of that? Down 2-0?
No, but I still think this goes long. As long as Embiid can get back, if he gets back, I think this is a long series in Sixers to take 1 or 2 at home.
Still feel the Sixers are the only Eastern Conference team at full strength that can even compete with the Thunder or Spurs, but it doesn't look like that's even going to get there. Coming back with the Spurs next.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on Thursday's episode of Money Moves, the NBA postseason rolls on, and the Cavaliers are in Game 2 against the Detroit Pistons. A lot of strong indicators for this player to bounce back and go over a certain player prop. We'll tell you who it is and how you should play it. Lakers and Thunder as well. Not so many good signs for the Lakers to cover a big number there. Hurricanes and Flyers, Philly down 2-0 going back home. Does that matter in the NHL? We'll answer that question and more. So join us. It's Money Moves, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN.com has everything you need to be smarter. Right now on VSiN.com, Greg Peterson's MLB Best Bets, DRF, Daily Racing Form, Churchill Downs picks, and Tyler Shoemaker's WNBA season preview. And coming later today, Zach Cohen's NBA Best Bets, Jonathan Davis's best NHL plays and props, and Steve Makinen's NBA Game 3 betting trends. Wait, Game 3 yet? I don't think we are, but that's what it says. Maybe he's projecting forward.
Yeah, for Sixers Knicks.
Yeah, for Sixers Knicks, we do. That's true. Spurs T-Wolves, that's correct. Projecting forward. Till tomorrow and beyond. And right now, get 14 months of VSiN Pro for only $199. It's $199 with promo code PRO. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe today. So we have another bit of news now on one of these tennis matches. We just had Oleinikova 6-1, 3-1 leading on her way to an easy victory. And Clara Towson took her toys and went home. Some cash, some did not, depending on what books you had it at. It was a set one grade or a full match grade. And now, just now, about 10 minutes ago, Amanda Anisimova withdrawing from the tournament.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. She's not even going to play in Italy.
Well, what's that story? Is
I
that
don't know.
Injury related?
She has not been playing, so let's see what the story is, if I can even see that.
Is this something like in golf?
Left wrist injury. Now, mind you, she plays tennis primarily with her right hand, but I guess she does have a two-handed backhand, but left wrist injury, so she's out. So our Ostapenko play never even materializes. Ostapenko is now going to play Rousset. She's about a minus 150 favorite. She probably wins that too, but that's not what our bet is. So we're down to 2 matches now. Siniakova up a set, as I mentioned. And then still to come, Marie Buskova versus Taylor Townsend. There you go.
Well, I know you were
Stick
all
around.
over.
Another match might get canceled. We'll see.
I know you were all over Ostapenko because they wanted to attack that weak left wrist.
That's right.
Do you see this as much in tennis as you do in golf with some of the like is that could that be a precautionary withdrawal? You want to be ready for the French Open?
For sure, it could be. Okay. But the problem with her is she has absolutely no run up to this. So she's just going to show up in Paris.
Yeah.
No match play for Anisimova, who, by the way, really good on clay, too. Has good results here in the past on clay and specifically at the French Open, which, again, comes to us not next week, not the week after, but the week after that, so 3 weeks from now.
Quick golf update. We have first round of the Truist Championship has been delayed again. It got delayed last night. They pushed it to a little later this morning. It was supposed to start in about 45 minutes. They have delayed in another hour, so it's scheduled to run from noon. Tee-offs will be noon to 2:01 Eastern time. Okay,
our tennis golf bits are going really well this morning.
Yeah, they're going to try to squeeze that all in. So I'll get the golf bets at some point in the show, but we've got tee times won't start for an hour and 45 minutes.
Hockey last night, Sabres and Canadiens finally started their series. Sabres beat the Canadiens 4-2. Buffalo leads that series 1-0 now. That best of 7 Stanley Cup series in the East. And then Ducks knock off the Golden Knights 3-1. That series knotted up at 1 game apiece, going back to Anaheim on Friday. So the Golden Knights' little carpet ride of good fortune hits a speed bump.
Not so mighty Ducks. I'll be a fan if he's changed the jerseys.
Winner of the Sabres Canadiens looks like they'll play Carolina, although I don't want to be premature. Carolina up 2-0 in their series, and the winner of the Ducks and Knights, Golden Knights, gets to play the Avalanche if the Avalanche can hold on and win that series that they have going on, where they're 2-0 up on the Wild. So that's the hockey story. The other basketball game last night, we saw this one coming. Spurs, after losing to the T-Wolves in Game 1, we sort of spelled it out here yesterday on the show, which is there is a scenario where the Spurs go up huge, and then at some point the Timberwolves say, okay, that's about enough. And that's kind of what happened. Spurs led 24-17 after the first. Midway through the second, 48-34. Then they go on an 11-0 run to go up 25. We're still talking first half here, up 24 at the half. 59-35 halftime score was the lowest scoring Timberwolves half of the season, regular season or playoffs. That's not good. Spurs led by as many as 38 in the third quarter, 35 after 3, and then led by as many as 47 in the fourth. They win by 38, 133-95. Stephon Castle led the Spurs with 21 points. Wemby, 19 and 15. 19 points, 15 boards. Nobody on the T-Wolves had more than 12 points. Spurs shot 50% from the field, 41% from three, and the T-Wolves had 22 turnovers.
Yeah, this game was over early.
Spurs got to feel good about that comeback from after Game 1's debacle, which, again, they had a three-pointer chance to win it at the end there, but they missed. And the T-Wolves have to say to themselves, well, we did what we had to do. We got 1 of 2 in San Antonio.
Absolutely. If you're a Timberwolves backer, right, or, on the Timberwolves, obviously, you took 1 of 2 from San Antonio with limited playing time from Anthony Edwards. That's massive. But, it was great to see. Just talking to the narrative we were talking about yesterday, it should take away the money from yesterday. Oh, this would have stunk if we were walking in here and talking about Timberwolves being up 2-0. Like, it was great to see Wemby and a young, talented team bounce back and show how good they really are. And this was the 3rd largest margin of victory in Spurs franchise history.
Is that playoffs or total?
I'm looking at total. I know, I was a little surprised by that as well.
3rd largest margin in Spurs history?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. The ultimate margin of that game. Now, if you look at the series price, 1-1, with the T-Wolves having home court, if you will, plus 245 on the T-Wolves. Plus 245 on the T-Wolves. Spurs are a $3 favorite still. Series total games is set at 5.5 with the over heavily juiced at minus 290. Again, it would require a sweep to go under that at this point. Sweep from here on out, if you will, to get the under plus 230 cash on the 5.5. Any thoughts on the adjusted series price here, or is this still San Antonio's to lose and you're not laying $3?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's well said. I'll deal with this game to game. I'll probably still be attacking San Antonio. But Minnesota's shown this for years now, right? They're a team that I have trouble grasping because they are one of those teams that very much does not look like they've got it all together during the regular season. It feels like every year, and then you get to the playoffs and they become a better team. I'll ask you, do you think there's a better chance this goes, better chance Spurs in 5 or Spurs in 7?
Better chance Spurs in 7. I feel like Minnesota and the Spurs will now split these 2 games in Minnesota.
I agree.
They will reset the series as a de facto best of 3, and San Antonio will win it in 6 or 7.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so they are 3.5-point road favorites. The Spurs are tomorrow night, 215.5 to 216.5. Your total out there. I'm kind of like what you said, Gil. I feel that same way. 3.5. Especially with Anthony Edwards not playing full minutes yet. We'll see if that changes in Game 3. Kind of leaning to the Spurs side. I might be on it in Game 3. I know this would go against kind of zigzag. Timberwolves going back home off the loss. But yeah, I would be looking at it. Would be Spurs or nothing for me in Game 3.
Tonight, 2 Game 2s. Detroit up 1-0 on the Cavaliers. Detroit a 3.5-point favorite. That's where this closed the other night for Game 1. Totals at 215.5. And then Lakers Thunder. Second verse, same as the first. Thunder favored by 15. 210 is your total. Luka nowhere in sight still, as we knew. Any difference here in Game 2? Can we just roll this back? If we just rolled back 2 days ago, would we say the exact same thing for both of these games?
I think so.
Too.
And I just got official word, by the way. No Jalen Williams or Luka Doncic tonight.
Yeah. And if you're the Thunder, why would you even bother? Just sit, Jalen. You're good till we need you.
Yeah. Absolutely no rush on him. I think this is. Shout out to Carl Sack. I think he had a good play Game 1. We played the Lakers team total under. We came in. I tailed him on that. We came in the day after, and it's okay. LeBron got his. Like, what else can you expect from this team? Like, it's just that's the way I feel, Gil. I think that could be another good bet again tonight.
It is. Yep. Why would it be any different? And by the way, the Lakers scored a lot of points in the first half, didn't they? Or at least the first quarter they did. They were trending over until they weren't. And it wasn't really close at the end to get to the 9. I think their team total was 99 in Game 1.
Yeah, 99. Yep.
Yeah.
I like when I throw out some numbers that Gil I can see his eyes light up. So I'm going to keep updating this one for you, Gil. Plus 135-point differential now in the 5 games between Oklahoma City and LA.
What is it again?
Plus 135 over the 5 games.
Over 5 games
for Oklahoma City. So yeah, I feel that way. And then Cavs.
That's 27 points per average, boys and girls. That's amazing. 27 a game.
It's wild. The Cavs-Pistons.
Lakers team total, I should mention, 97.5 adjusted to tonight.
Yeah, totals ticked down a little bit. So, yeah, you're going to have to. Same spread, totals down a little bit from game one. Cavs-Pistons, man, I don't think I'm going to have anything here, contest or a bet. If I had to play something, though, and maybe I'll do this in the contest, but I doubt it. It's under. It's just this Pistons is such a dead. This Pistons team is such a dead under team, and then the Cavs. Just, they can't, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it in the offense. I'm not going to go backing that until I see it. So I think it's a stay away or possibly an underlook. I think maybe the most fascinating thing I was thinking about heading in today with James Harden. If it doesn't happen tonight, he's got to be on getting benched watch in Game 3.
Wow, because of the turnovers.
Because of the turnovers.
Yeah.
You're not good enough defensively, and you can't keep turning over like this.
Pistons were -3 in the contest in Game 1. I played them to success. I don't know if I'll play them at -3 in the contest tonight. We'll see. Zach Cohen next.
The guarantee? I hear it's massive.
They wouldn't do this unless it was something big.
There is no way it's that high.
I think it's even bigger.
It's huge. What? It's huge. Oh.
I'm down here at Circa, and I heard it's going to be gigantic. It's the biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
All right, guys. You're going to have to wait and see. The biggest pro football contests in the world are back. Visit circusports.com for more information.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Midland, alongside. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Matt, Warrior013. I hate it when someone takes their balls and goes home. Yeah, that's what Clara Townsend did. Larry Fresh says the only walkover acknowledged. He's got the meme of Iverson walking over.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I think it's anniversary day.
Is it?
For practice.
Oh, for that?
Yeah. Not a game.
Not a game.
Not a game. Practice. Talking about practice. Guy never gets old.
Dead rail. Gil, I have a 4-game parlay with the UCLA women, the Michigan men, Iga to win the French, and either UCLA or Texas to win the baseball championships. Tell me Iga isn't going to let me down, please. I would worry about UCLA and Texas in baseball first before I'd worry about Iga. But, hey, Iga starts tomorrow in the Italian Open. We'll learn more soon. That's how I'll put that. Russell Smith, big thanks to Townsend quitting down 6-1-3-1 for a dog winner to become no action at my book. Angry emoji. Chuckism 1. What's up with all the Aaron Rodgers hate? I don't remember this attitude when Tom Brady was doing this in his 40s. Yeah, because one of them's Tom Brady and he was winning a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers seems to have the look at me, like it's all about me at all times. Tom Brady was busy giving out salary to other people, right? On the team. Aaron Rodgers is the guy who's like, all the attention must be on me at all points. So that's where my Aaron Rodgers dislike comes from.
And you know what? Mine is simply just from the, why do I have to, I'm constantly being talked down to by one of them, and the other one seems to show a lot of class and respect for almost everybody.
By the way, not that I'm a Tom Brady fan, but if you can't see the difference, I don't know what to tell you. Scott, New York Mess 16. Country Club and turned into the local dive bar today. Glow sticks turned into pool sticks. Sure did, man.
That's pretty good.
Sure did. Oh, Nevada Azer, you're so right. He says, I see the NBA's making us wait for Coach of the Year. Not even a word. Pure nonsense. This is so true.
It's crazy.
The NBA did all the Fakakta awards. They scheduled all those. Fakakta, by the way, Kelly. And then the big ones, Coach of the Year, MVP, we still have no schedule for these. We have no idea.
No idea.
If only an NBA reporter had the intellectual curiosity to find out that information for us. Doesn't work that way, apparently. James Sott.
Best you could do is kind of look up when it was announced the year before. We'll do that.
James Sott. Another update from Rome. Iga's coach blew out his Achilles. What does it say about me now that I think Gil first when I hear ruptured Achilles? Did he really? Did her coach blow out his Achilles? I didn't even hear that. Judd O'Connor. Does Atkinson even have the testicular fortitude to sit Harden?
No, probably not.
Cavs' offense is tough to watch as the Pistons' offense, which is wild to think. Spida and Jimbo are allegedly great scorers. Allegedly, he says.
I love that question because it's you have to have the stones to bench a future Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer, yeah.
But we were talking a little bit more off air about it. It's just at some point, the Pistons are an offensively challenged team. James Harden, you're not helping out defensively very much. You can't turn the ball over 7 times and give them easy buckets in transition. So Look, I'm not saying it's happening tonight, but if you get another bad James Harden night, be on watch for it in Game 3.
This feels like a good time to bring in Hardwood Handicappers host Zach Cohen, part of the glue that holds this whole operation together. He is the host of Hardwood Handicappers, which is Monday through Friday. Available, new episodes, Monday through Friday. You can follow him on Twitter at BettingOnX. We'll get to tennis with him, but let's start with basketball. Zach, good morning to you, sir. And there, by the way, you can scan the QR code if you want to subscribe to Hardwood Handicappers.
Yeah, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
You agree with Kelly about Harden? Like, it might be time for the old bencho?
I think that Harden played really well in the fourth quarter. I think he was very responsible, for digging that hole for them. And, obviously that was a major problem. The turnovers, you can't turn the ball over against this Pistons team. They're just not good enough offensively, and you don't want to give them anything easy. So it would be very, very, crucial for them to, take care of the basketball tonight. But I do think Cleveland's going to bounce back this evening. I took plus 3.5 minus 110. Also sprinkled some money line at plus 144. But full disclosure, I have Cleveland to win the series as well. So really just haven't adjusted kind of my priors here. And that is the thinking that Cleveland just a little bit too good offensively for this Detroit team. And It has not looked that way over the last couple of weeks, but I do not expect Tobias Harris to keep this up. I know, Gil, you like to talk about, how you don't watch a lot of the regular season. So what you see in the playoffs is what you kind of make your opinions based off. But Harris has been a rough watch in the postseason throughout his career, and like 18 to 22 points a night for a guy that I think is more like 13 to 15. That should come down soon.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with his, how can I put this, not realized contract play.
It is wild. Like Zach, it is 6 straight games now. Nick Whalen brought this up with us yesterday too. Yeah. 6 straight of 20 plus. Like things I don't normally talk about, but like, do we just go like under and Martingale start doing this with Tobias Harris? Like, it's not going to keep this up. Like the Pistons need him to, but I'm with you, Zach. Not a play for me yet, but I might jump on that and start doing that here every game.
Danny, do we have the Killer Sports Challenge standings? Well, go ahead, Zach. Say what you were saying.
I was going to say, I'd consider putting Harden on Tobias pretty much exclusively in this series. I feel like Harden is a player that has actually defended the post and the mid-post pretty well throughout his career, and Harris isn't going to be running and cutting all that often. I wonder if they'll try that a little bit more.
Here are the VSiN Killer Sports NBA Playoff Challenge standings current. Now, remember, in the second round, everybody plays when they want to play, so not the same amount of games have been played, so you really should go to the loss column to look at what the real standings are. Look who's won back in the loss column. Look at that. Look at that guy is. I know. I see him there. He's listed as 5th, but he's really 2nd.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah. I was like, oh, Zach's fallen, but he really hasn't. He's only played one. He's only played one in the second round.
So you're playing Cleveland in the contest, I would imagine then?
I'm playing Cleveland in the contest. I'm looking into the Lakers and Thunder total, just going to see what type of number we get compared to the open. As of right now, we'd be getting a pretty good number on the over. Although I did make a costly error last night. I had the 76ers and the Spurs in like all day. All of the injury news kind of freaked me out, and I ended up pulling it off, and I gave up 2 winners.
Oh man. This kid. Yeah. Well, that's the puzzle that this is, right? Like the brain meld of this whole thing. How are you playing? Speaking of the Thunder and Lakers, how are you playing that game tonight?
I just have a couple of player props right now. I thought it was really concerning for the Lakers that for like 3/4 of that game, they actually played very well. And in the end, they end up with 90 points and an 18-point loss. And OKC definitely has more to offer, especially SGA. I thought that was one of the quietest, playoff games we've seen him play throughout his career. So not a great sign if you're the Lakers, although the spread is coming down. So it looks like there is some money on the Lakers somewhere. So maybe we will end up on plus 15.5 in the contest if this keeps coming down, and that's the number. So I don't know. I'll consider it. But the play I do have right now, Rui Hachimura over 12.5 points at minus 111. Also took some Hachimura to score 15 plus at plus 150. He has just been pretty consistently scoring in like the 13 to 18 point range for like 3 or 4 weeks now. And he's had 3 games against OKC this season where he has scored at least 13 points. I think one of the things that you have with Hachimura is confidence, which not a lot of players on the Lakers have when you're just kind of thinking about shot making against a very good defense. So Hachimura is going to get his shots up, whether that's from 3, whether that's mid post, whether that's driving. I think we're going to see him be a little bit aggressive here. And I think 13 points is a reasonable ask. So that's one of my plays for this evening, or I guess 2. And I also played Jared McCain over 3.5 points. I got it at plus 106 last night. It's a worse number today, but I would still play it, and I would still play it over 4.5 if you had to. I think McCain is just going to play 15 minutes or so tonight like he did last game, and he is such a good three-point shooter against, a defense that doesn't do a great job of scrambling, that you could expect him to make his mark as a scorer at some point, even if it's in a very short period of time.
Who are these people betting the Lakers tonight? I'm not saying that you can't be right about this. Maybe you end up as a winner. But I'm just saying, like, what's your theory?
Okay. I'm glad you brought it up like that, because I was sitting over here thinking there's kind of one aspect that you and I haven't talked about much. I'm sure Zach has talked about on Hardwood Handicappers, and it's mainstream media. I'm hearing it all over the place. It's Austin Reeves sucks. It's his 3rd game back from injury. I think I'm giving him a bit of an excuse because of that. Like, I don't know how much we should be expecting from Austin Reeves. Zach, I don't know where you fall on that, but Gil and I have kind of taken the line of, man, they played about as well as you could expect in game 1, and that was still the result. Should Austin Reeves be catching more heat for what happened game 1?
I don't think he should be catching heat because, like you said, he's coming off a lengthy injury layoff. Hasn't really looked like himself since he came back, but I would expect him to start playing better at some point soon. The problem is that it's not even just like the lack of mobility, if there even is that. It's that you're going up against one of the best defensive backcourts in the entire NBA. And every single time you're looking to drive, you're driving on Dort, Wallace, SGA is still a good defender, Caruso. Like, there's just no really good attackable options for him. And even pulling up Chet Holmgren with like a PNR isn't going to be very good for you either way. So I think this is a really tough series for him. I don't know what you saw in game one that makes you want to take the Lakers again. Maybe it was the fact that, for a large portion of the game, they were there with them, but it only took, a snap of a finger for OKC to pull away and put them away. And like I said, I think SGA is going to play better this time around. So not sure why you could be too confident there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. 69-65, sort of midway through the third quarter, and then the end of that, as you say, with SGA only scoring 18, which for him is just, super duper low. We'll get to some tennis from Zach. He's got some clay court tennis on the other side, and we'll ask him some thought exercise NBA questions as well. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on the numbers game. No Emu Doug at Elderly Gambler. New word of the day for Cockta. I've used it before, Doug. And then he goes ahead and he defines it for us on Twitter, which I can't really do here on air. He says, my bets were for Cockta yesterday. Danger ahead. Gentile using Yiddish. That's all right. It's my job to spread all that. Zach Cohen joins us here for a second segment. We'll get back to the NBA in a moment. But, Zach, before we go any further, can you provide us with your remaining tennis plays of the day? How's it going for you so far in Italy?
Pretty well so far. I mean, it's really early. If Pablo Llamas Ruiz beats Ethan Quinn, I'll be up today. Had a couple of matches yesterday that were delayed that won this morning, which was good. So solid start, really good clay season overall. So happy with that. Actually, really not looking forward to the grass season because I have been enjoying clay so much. But for today, I have Gianluca Cadenasso plus 1.5 sets against Thiago Agustin Tirante. Also played a little bit of money line there at plus 180. This is just somebody that I've seen a lot on the Challenger Tour, and he's been having a lot of success over the last couple of weeks. This is the type of tournament where very good clay court players are rewarded for very good baseline play, while Tirante is also a good clay court player. Thought it was a lot to ask him to win in straight sets against somebody playing in their home country. So that's kind of my thinking there. And then I do have a play for tomorrow, which is Karolina Pliskova minus 125 against Jacqueline Christian. This is another one where it's a little bit odd. I mean, Pliskova is ranked nowhere near Christian in the WTA rankings, but this is a player that has accomplished a lot throughout her career. And on clay, her lack of movement is not exposed as much. She's an older player, really has a lot of trouble getting around the court, but she has a little bit more time on the ball. And when she has time to hit the ball, she can really blast it. So this is a player with a lot of power from the baseline, also a very good serve. And there are not a lot of players in Rome that pick up cheap points on their serve. Pliskova can do it on the women's side. So I think that's a good play for tomorrow.
And Jacqueline Christian, low-key, Kelly, match you want to watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just want to point that out.
Yep.
That thing you said about home court advantage, how much do you factor that into your handicapping? Because I really do feel like when you play a tournament like this one anyway, in Rome, I really feel like it does matter. Like I feel like I lost on Munar. I mean, I lost, period. I don't know. I can't prove this. But I feel like part of the reason was because the crowd was behind Arnaldi so much.
Yeah, I think it matters a lot in this sport, like more than people would think. I mean, these are players that like live for like a Davis Cup atmosphere where the entire crowd is giving them momentum, and it really does add up in a single person sport where you just get a few extra miles per hour on a forehand or a serve or something, a little bit of extra energy to run down balls when you're feeling tired. So it's big like it is in every sport. And I don't know, it did factor into my handicap a little bit because I have a Musetti future to win his quarter where he is in a bit of, a tough draw where he's got maybe Casper Ruud, Francisco Cerundolo, Novak Djokovic. It's not the easiest draw in the world, but plus 600, I thought with him playing in Italy, I trust him to kind of bounce back at this tournament and kind of get right before Roland Garros, where he has to be going into that thinking, if I play some good tennis, I have a chance of, making the final because there's no Alcaraz.
Yeah.
That's the guy that has gotten him on clay. We think that he could beat Djokovic now after seeing what he did at the Australian Open. That's somebody that has given him trouble in the past. Not sure he could beat Sinner, but I'm not sure that there are 2 or 3 better clay court players in the world than Musetti. So playing at home, I think this is a good tournament to back him.
Zach on Gianluca Cadenasso today versus Thiago Tirante, both on the money line and plus 1.5 sets. And then tomorrow, Karolina Pliskova versus Jacqueline Christian, the lovely Jacqueline Christian. Okay, back to basketball. What about these series, the other 2 series? We talked about tonight's games briefly, but let's talk about the ones that went into game 2s last night. We're through game 2s. Spurs, T-Wolves knotted up at 1 apiece. And of course, the Knicks now up 2-0 on the Sixers, and we really don't know about injuries in that series.
Yeah, I think you just really have to keep your eye out for news today. I think if OG Anunoby misses any time, you're going to see Philly bounce back in this series, whether that's, winning with Embiid or without him. I would like the 76ers chances of getting back in the win column in game 3 if there's no OG out there. And I know that he might not miss that game. There's no guarantee. So keep your eyes peeled. If he has a hamstring strain, I would imagine he'll be out for game 3 because he is a player that has dealt with a lot of soft tissue stuff in his career. Also thought the Sixers looked really good in game 2. They just weren't able to get the job done late, but more energy. I think that we all kind of said going into that game 1 that coming off of game 7, it was going to be really tough for them to kind of find it both emotionally and physically. So that, blowout was not, I wouldn't say welcomed. I didn't think that it was going to happen, but wasn't too surprising. I think this team can get back into this series, especially if Anunoby helps them.
Knicks favored by 1 point, game 3 in Philly. Any interest in Philly plus 650 adjusted price, series price?
I already have a lot on Philly to win 2 games in this series. I also have Philly to win the series, a little bit on that. So I don't know that I want to add to it. If Anunoby's out, I would probably take a little bit more at like plus 400 or so. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. But I'm not going to take it at plus 650 without knowing a little bit more about the injuries.
So San Antonio crushes Minnesota last night after losing game 1 by 2. San Antonio has been installed. Remember, Zach, can't bet it unless it's installed first. They've been installed as a 4-point road favorite in game number 3. We were Kelly and I were batting this around earlier. I sort of feel like, just again, the Malcolm Gladwell blink thing, this should split again in Minnesota and it'll be a de facto best of 3. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I don't really understand the spreads that we're seeing in this series. I know game 2 was the zigzag spot, minus 9.5 really doesn't reflect where the odds makers or anybody really had that game. But I don't think that there's that big of a difference between these two teams. I think that Minnesota now has proven, year after year that maybe they aren't the greatest regular season team in the world, at least this year. But in the postseason, they have a formula that works, and that's big physical players out there, playing tough defense, a lot of guys that can rebound, a lot of guys that can handle the ball. And they've just had a lot of success with it. And Chris Finch is a very good coach. I think he's going to have those guys ready for game 3. And, they got Ayo Dosunmu back in game 2. Didn't really matter, but I think that was just the motivation for the Spurs against a Timberwolves team that kind of got what they needed in game 1. Moving back to Minnesota, I still think the Timberwolves are very live to win this series. So whatever prices you can find on them, if you can get, plus 300 or so at any point, I'm back in on Minnesota. I already like Minnesota, took them at plus 700, but I do think that what we've seen the first 2 games still says that this is a buyable number.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, Gil, these JVT and Zach on the Hardwood Handicappers group text. It was immediately when this series was set. It was like, give me plus 2.5 games at plus 250 or whatever it was, and I was like, you guys are crazy. You're crazy. They're looking pretty good right now.
Wait, so to clarify, do you have the T-Wolves pre-flop on the series price as well?
Yes, so I have over 4.5 games, which won. I have Timberwolves plus 2.5 games, and I have Timberwolves plus 700 on the money line. Very small play, but I did, as Kelly said, when I saw these prices come out, reacted really strongly because I didn't think Edwards would be back in game 1, but I thought he would be back in game 2 or game 3. So I thought it was just a little bit wild and I don't know, premature to kind of rule Minnesota out. We'll see what happens from here. The Spurs are still a very good basketball team, but I don't know. I think that the 3-point shooting is really inconsistent, and this Timberwolves defense is great. And I think offensively, Minnesota might not be pretty, but they have a couple of players that can absolutely execute in a half-court setting.
Okay, so I may already have my answer to this question based on what you've already said, but here's the thought exercise question. What is more likely? The T-Wolves, so I'm coming in a world where neither the Thunder or Spurs win the NBA title. What is more likely? The T-Wolves beat both of them, right? They would have to beat both of them on their way to the title. Or one Eastern Conference team beats one of the Spurs or Thunder once. What's the more likely scenario if that happens?
I guess I would go with the Timberwolves. I think that Minnesota would be the best team in the Eastern Conference. And I think that they have, a formula that works against all of these teams. I think that in the past, in the postseason against OKC, we've seen them, be competitive in losses, but the losses have stacked up faster. But I do think this team can play with the Thunder. And there is the kind of Jalen Williams injury looming out there that we don't know when he's going to be back for OKC. So not exactly a healthy Thunder team. So I would say the Timberwolves getting to the finals is a little bit more likely than an Eastern Conference team winning. But I will say, if it is Knicks Spurs, I would give the Knicks a pretty good shot, whereas I probably wouldn't have a couple weeks ago. I do think the Knicks have found a lot of success lately.
If it's the Knicks Spurs, which we had a bunch of folks guessing Knicks Thunder yesterday, which made a lot of sense when I say, okay, who's in the NBA Finals? But if it's Knicks Spurs, why is it that the Knicks win that? What do you see happening?
Well, I don't think that they win it. I just think they'd have a much better shot. Against OKC, it's the same thing we just talked about with Reeves, where you just have a million defenders to throw on Brunson. He really doesn't have, the breathing room to go out and win the games for the Knicks, at least late. So with the Spurs, I don't think that the defense on the perimeter is quite as good. You still have the young factor, too, for San Antonio, which I'm not as big on as other people. I think that group of players, that three of them, they're all ready to go. I think it's their supporting cast that actually isn't good enough for this Spurs team right now. I think that, guys like Barnes need to be upgraded in the next coming offseason, but I think the Knicks would have a shot just based on how tough they are,